Hello, honorable members of the clan. So this morning we are waiting for the North Gauteng High Court to resume in the sense of Mayowa deletion trial. I saw some people say they have an issue with me saying deletion, deleted. Guys, there is no any other, what do you call this, what's the word, improvised word that we can use because the one alive is also becoming flagged by YouTube. The word M, when I used to use it before, like that word, it's now flagged, completely flagged by YouTube. So we needed to come up with a different way of describing deleting of a person. So it's not to disrespect the deceased at all. This is to improvise some of the strict words that we cannot use on YouTube anymore. So if you are offended by that, I sincerely apologize. There's no any other word one can use unless you can suggest some. I don't know if you are offended by this particular term. And that, guys, let's talk about Makaleni. Makaleni is a guy, apparently, who was a passerby at the Khumalo house on the 26th of October 2014. And he said he saw 3 gentlemen enter the Khumalo house. One of them was carrying a gun. All of this, he says he was just outside of the Khumalo substation or electric station or something of that nature. And then he described one of the suspects to be about 1.8 meters tall, who was brownish in skin tone, as well as about 25 years of age. And then he was wearing a black hoodie. And then Mr. Gininda says, well, when he looked at the identikit, he saw resemblance of accused number 2, Ntanzi. I mean, I have been looking at this identikit for the longest, and I'm thinking to myself, this person doesn't look at all like Ntanzi. Even though they've added, what you call this, a beard on his face. I mean, we can tell Ntanzi he has imbuzi-like type of beard. It's not full like how it is depicted on that identikit. And then I took a little bit more time and looked at what's his name again, Longway's brother, Silo Jr. I'm like, this identikit kind of like looks like him to me, my opinion. I'm like, this identikit looks more like him than it does Ntanzi. Look at the eyes, look at the lips, look at, I mean, we need to also find out if he ever had dreads and a gold tooth in 2014. Now, I think the gold tooth part was just an added spice to this statement by Makaleni. I don't think he saw a gold tooth at all. What I found quite interesting is that Dr. Tlokwa, Dr. Oizifozonke, found that there was no gold tooth or a trace of there was ever a gold tooth or something artificial on Ntanzi's teeth. But this guy wants to see Gininda. He sees a gap. Like, I got gaps in between my teeth. This guy would have said, there was something between, it was chiseled and they had some, he would find something that never existed, as if he's some kind of an expert in some of these things. I was like, this guy, I don't know. Is it hate? Is it evil? What is it with this guy? That he says Ntanzi had a gap which to him showed that something was removed, something that was artificially there and it was removed. I gag about it. Insofar is his favorite word these days, not subsequently. I don't know if you've noticed. Now, the other part that was quite interesting, where Gininda, once again, he is arguing with the eyewitnesses. Kelly Khumalo, Kelly Khumalo and the eyewitnesses in the house, they said they could not describe the second suspect, which is accused number 2. They said they couldn't. But no, Gininda is like, in their statement, this is what they had said. With Captain Steenkamp, they said they could not identify or describe the second suspect. But Gininda is like, no, we are going to work with their statements. That's a contradiction. How is that even admissible in a court of law? I don't get it. I don't get it if it ever gets admitted. But you can tell that the evil is coming out and say, we'll go with the statement. The statement, forget what they told the identikit, because I believe the identikit plays a major role in describing the suspect. And if the eyewitness say, well, I don't know what the identity or how to describe the second suspect, that means that is dead and gone. Dead and gone. But no, Gininda said, no, I'm going to go with the statement. The statement says this. It was so interesting to see that. And then he gets asked about the 16th of June 2020 when Ntanzi was arrested. It's like, oh, he says something. He says, yeah, he's aware that it's Mokgano as well as the late Mabena that made the arrest of Ntanzi on the 16th. And then he says, oh, but I need to add that it was the Nongoma case, not the 636 case. And I'm like, yeah, speaking of Nongoma case, what ended up happening? And what ended up happening with the many cases against Ntanzi? Because justice delayed is justice denied, Mr. Gininda. You could be arresting him for all these cooked up cases that you've cooked up, that you, when you took the stand in a trial within a trial, you said Ntanzi was the gun supplier. Where's those cases? Are they still classified? Wow. And then the interesting part as well was the meeting that was in the Pretoria North, where he denies he was ever there. And I can't remember which police officer slipped and then came back and corrected themselves. I think it was Mokgano. Came back after lunch and corrected himself. Said, oh, Gininda was not. But it was Ntanzi who said it was Gininda who's the one who asked me to remove my tops so that they can check a tattoo. There was no tattoo, there's no gold tooth, no dreads. But here we are going on with this trial. This is the point where I think as a judge I would have said, so you guys did not find the tooth or even a trace of it? What about the tattoo? Because this entire matter of accused number 2 was a description by an eyewitness. And now suddenly he doesn't have, then accused number 2, you are excused. That's, I think, what a presiding officer is supposed to do. I don't know. Because they keep talking about accused number 2, and yet the things that were said were on him, they never were on him. You know? They came to the album according to Mr. Ramusipili that is in case or cast 375. I'm so sorry, guys, this morning. 375. And it was quite interesting to hear the judge say at the end, listen, guys, this 375, you need to talk to me, basically telling the state, because they bring it in drips and drabs. So now I agree with Judge Rata that can it be something that is argued before him, or he can hear it and make a decision once and for all, whether in the future we are going to incorporate it or in the future we are no longer going to talk about 375. I think that's what he's yearning to do, to make a judgment so that it is either removed completely from his courtroom or it is admitted and then the arrests are made so that they become accused number 6 or whatever the case might be. And so he says Mr. Baloyi needs to talk to him about that. Heads of argument, I guess he was inviting to be submitted by both the state as well as the defense. But apparently Mr. Ramusipili kind of like folded on that. I thought that was an opportunity. But Mr. Ramusipili said, well, myself and the state are going to have a discussion and make agreements on it instead of submitting heads of arguments. Because Judge Rata said, yeah, now he is ready. He is ready to make a judgment on 375. And I thought that was a very missed opportunity right there to have it heard. So that if it goes along with the DPP's letter that until this particular trial is over, that is when 375 is going to be activated, or let's activate it right now type of situation. I don't know. I just think it was a missed opportunity. I hope they reconsider this position because at the end of the day, we need to get to the bottom of this matter. So yeah, Judge Rata said he wants to make a decision on 375 if it is presented to him. Not in drips and drabs. Drips and drabs? Come on. And then he does say that 636 as well as 375, they are worlds apart. One is about defeating the ends of justice, while the other one is about attempted deleting, as well as theft or robbery or whatever, and also possession of unlicensed firearm type of situation going on there. So anyways, guys, let's wait until the court resumes this morning, and I'll be right here, guys, to update you. Those of you who are no longer following the trial but follow me on my commentary regarding what happens or what happened in the North Gauteng High Court. And please don't leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And if you like us, you are going to click the bell notification, come with your 2 IQs, rub them together, and spark your own opinion. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.